In 1970, NASCAR wasn't clean or corporate. It was loud, dangerous, and ruled by raw horsepower. Drivers wrestled heavy steel cars at insane speeds, and safety came second to winning. But one day at Talladega, everything changed. A car rolled onto the track that didn't just look fast, it looked like a weapon. It had a nose stretched forward like a shark cutting through water, and a rear wing so tall it looked completely out of place. When that car hit the backstretch, the stopwatch didn't just break records. It shattered expectations. This was the Dodge Charger Daytona. And along with its twin, the Plymouth Superbird, it made 200 miles per hour look effortless. That was the moment NASCAR realized they had a problem. Because these cars weren't just faster than the competition. They were too fast for the tracks, too advanced for the rules, and too dangerous for the era. Officials knew that if these machines continued unchecked, they could destroy the sport itself. This is the story of the Winged Warriors, the cars that NASCAR didn't ban outright, but quietly killed through the rulebook. To understand why the winged cars were built, you have to look at what came before them. In 1968, the Dodge Charger was one of the most beautiful cars on the road. It sold well and looked aggressive. But on NASCAR's high-banked ovals, it was a disaster waiting to happen. That iconic recessed grille acted like a giant parachute. At speeds above 180 miles per hour, air piled up under the nose, lifting the front wheels off the track. The rear became unstable, the car wandered across the lane, and drivers were fighting just to stay alive. The Charger wasn't slicing through the air. It was pushing against it. Dodge tried to fix the problem with the Charger 500 by flattening the grille and reshaping the rear window. It helped, but not enough. Ford's Torino Talladega was still faster, and Mopar executives were running out of patience. Their message to the engineers was simple and brutal. Build something that wins, or don't come back. Instead of traditional race engineers, Dodge turned to aerospace minds. They worked with wind tunnel specialists and engineers who understood airflow the same way rocket scientists did. This was revolutionary for stock car racing at the time. The solution was extreme. An 18-inch steel nose cone was added to cut through the air and reduce drag. But the real shock came from the rear. A massive wing rose high above the trunk, taller than anything NASCAR had ever seen. Many people believed the wing was tall so the trunk could open, but that's just a myth. The real reason was clean air. Air flowing over the roof was turbulent and useless. By placing the wing high above the car, engineers reached smooth, undisturbed airflow that created real downforce. For the first time, a NASCAR stock car was both incredibly fast and stable at full speed. Then came the moment that changed history forever. On March 24, 1970, Buddy Baker climbed into the number 88 Dodge Daytona at Talladega. When he finished his run, he became the first driver in NASCAR history to officially break the 200-mile-per-hour barrier. 200.447 miles per hour. The message was clear. You can keep the wings, but we're taking away your heart. Dodge and Plymouth knew instantly that the game was over. With small block engines, the winged cars couldn't compete. In one rule change, the most advanced cars in NASCAR history were effectively executed. But the street versions lived on. To race these cars, manufacturers were required to sell them to the public. In 1970, most buyers hated them. They were too long to park, the nose scraped on driveways, and the giant wing made them look ridiculous. Some dealers even removed the wings just to sell the cars. A Hemi Superbird sold for around $4,000 back then. Today, those same cars sell for $500,000 to over $1 million at major auctions. The cars that people laughed at became priceless legends. The Dodge Charger Daytona and Plymouth Superbird only ruled NASCAR for one wild year, but they changed racing forever. They proved that aerodynamics mattered more than tradition, and that physics would always beat old-school thinking. These weren't just muscle cars. They were the peak of American racing ambition, the moment NASCAR flew too close to the sun.